Hello there! With great power comes great responsibility. This is what Uncle Ben told to Peter Parker in Spider-Man. Now, with updates and upgrades in software and hardware, they are not Peter Parker for sure, but they do have a great power and a great responsibility, and maybe introducing new functionalities to your software and hardware, maybe fixing things that were not working, and also improving the security of your system in general. Now, if you work in IT, you know that upgrades and updates, they can break things. And unfortunately, UniFi is not an exception of this, and you can have issues with updates and upgrades. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about the updates and upgrades in the UniFi ecosystem, what you can do to avoid issues with the updates, and strategies to avoid downtime over there. So now, let's begin. All right, now let's begin. And I'm here at the update tab of my UniFi controller. It's here where you will mainly manage everything related to updates on the controller and also the hardware or the firmware of the hardware. So this might be a little bit different for you. You can see here on the network application release channel, if I click here, I have official, release candidate, and early access. These are the three update channels or release channel for UniFi and Ubiquiti. You may find that you only have access to the official. And this is because if you want to have access to the let's say the early access or release candidate channels, you need to sign to the program of UniFi and Ubiquiti if you want to have access to this. I'll show you how you can do it. It's something really, really simple. Now, early access, the early access channel is basically a beta testing phase. And this is the first release that UniFi deploys to the UniFi system, and they deploy it to the community. That you can find over here. This is the community release website for the UniFi website. And here, if I go over the right part, you can see that it says official release. Now, if I click on early access, I can filter then, and it will show me all the beta releases that are available. This website is magic. So if you work with UniFi, you should have this website saved on your bookmarks, because basically here you will see all the updates for the controllers, all the other applications like Protect, and also for the firmware updates. And we will use this website, I'll explain this later, to monitor the updates and see how the updates are going, okay? I'll explain that later. But here, basically, you can find updates for everything. And again, you can see I have official release and early access. Now, if I go again to official release, I can see I have official and release candidate. So release candidate is the version that basically UniFi is going to deploy, that it's a candidate to release, but they don't have confirmation yet that it's stable. Once they have confirmation or they confirm it's stable, they turn that version into the official version. So that basically sums up a little bit how the UniFi updates and upgrades work. Okay, perfect. Now let's go back to my network application. Now, if I want to, I can change this release channel. Let's say from the official, I'm in the version number 9 right now, and I can go, for example, to the early access. I'll save this. And if I check for updates, you can see I have the network application version 9.2.84 available to install. So I have access to this beta testing version. Now, something about UniFi updates, yes, they do break things. So be very careful. I don't recommend if you don't have a lab environment, for example. So let's say you're an MSP, you have several controllers, or maybe you only have one for all of your clients. If you don't have a lab environment where you can test the updates first, I will highly recommend you to not use this early access channel or use it to test, okay? Same for release candidates. And of course, even with the official, let's go back to the official, even with the official updates, you need to be careful because again, they will cause issues. For example, what you can do after there's a new update and it's on the official channel, go to the Ubiquiti community website, look for the update, and then look for the comments. Normally, a good strategy that you can have with this is maybe wait for the update to be released and then wait for, let's say, a month and monitor the thread. Something I want to highlight with the UniFi community, I think is just amazing. The community here, you will find a lot of details of all the updates and upgrades. You can also find help as well here. Maybe if the UniFi support doesn't work for you, you will find a lot of help over here. Let's say, for example, if we go here, let's pick a V thread so we can, let me filter here, go to the network. We have the network application right here, right? The version 9.1.120. Now you see all the details over here. It's an official. You have more information here about the version history for this application. Previously, you can see that this version was the release candidate, and this is the stable one. Now, if we go down, for example, you will find all the comments from people, not only the details for the application. You will find a lot of comments from people here mentioning issues that they're having, and if they fix it, how they fix the issues. So really, I want to highlight the UniFi community. I think it's awesome in this, and we really help each other in a lot of ways with this kind of things. Even if you go to the early access threads, there are a lot of people here that they do use the early access versions because they want to do like some kind of beta testing. So basically they're helping because they will inform about bugs or any issues that they have. Maybe they are also using the early access or release candidates versions because they have an issue with the stable version and the UniFi support, or someone recommended them to use the let's say the newest update because maybe it will help with the issues that they're having. So this is something really, really important that I will advise you to monitor. And of course, this is if you are managing your own controller or self-hosting your own controller, because if you're using something like UniHosted, a cloud controller, we manage the updates a little bit different, and you don't have to deal with updates at all. But this you can take this advice if you're using or if you are self-hosting your controller. Now, if we go here, this is about the UniFi network application or other applications. Inside the update tab of the network application, something that you can do, and I recommend as well, we have the device updates part here. And I will say, do not automatically update devices, because if they have an issue, of course you can set up, a schedule over here. I can say, okay, I want to update my devices every day or daily. You see the option over there at 3 a.m. Maybe no one is working over there at that time. If you're running a shop that is 24/7, well, you may want to schedule this. But even if you do it after hours and maybe they don't affect anyone, they can cause issues. And Monday 8 a.m. you receive a call because Wi-Fi is not working, and maybe it's the firmware update on a device that broke everything. So I will go ahead and advise you to not automate the device updates, and you can do some kind of testing with that. You can just update a device if you have, let's say, several APs. They are the same model. You can just update one and then see how that one works and if you have any issues. Okay, now that's for device updates. We also talked about the network application updates. All the same things apply to the other applications. There are other features that you can work here on the update tab. You can see you have a device update schedule. I don't have any UniFi device right now. That's why I see that message. And you can also use a feature of caged updates. Basically, if you have devices that they don't connect to the internet, could be cameras, could be something that is disconnected completely from the internet, you can use the network application as a proxy for updates, and so the devices can take all the updates they need from the network application. Another good feature, I think, from the UniFi update. Okay, perfect. Another thing that I want to recommend besides the release community website that UniFi has, you have 2 subreddits in Reddit. Of course, Reddit has everything. And yes, there's a subreddit for Ubiquiti, and you will find a lot of things over here, really, really cool things, setups, all the cool things that you may see here, but you can also find things related to updates over here. And there is also a specific subreddit with every update, which is UniFi versions, UniFi _versions. So this is another one that I recommend you to take a look at, besides if the community website doesn't have everything you need. Maybe you can check this one, or you can check Reddit in general, and you will find more details about how the updates are going. All right, wonderful. Now, issues that can happen with updates. And now let me go over here. We have a blog post about issues that can happen, why they happen, and how you can prevent this. I'll talk a little bit about prevention. Remember, basically, do not update right away. Even if you are in the official channel, wait maybe a month or so, see how everything is going with this new update. And again, you can monitor the community website in UniFi. Now, things that can happen with updates. Well, not only something that I see a lot, or we see a lot with UniFi controller updates, is devices that cannot connect to the controller. They show maybe in a pending state for the adoption. They show that they cannot connect, or they're managed by someone else. Well, not someone else, but another controller. So that's something really, really normal. But then you can have also issues with functionalities like VLANs or routing or things like that. So it's not only device adoption. So be very careful. That's why you need to be very careful with updates. Now, again, we have a blog post about this. And for example, for the issues with device adoption, you can just be very mindful and activate the SSH feature in UniFi. So with the SSH feature, you can not only SSH into the controller, but you can also SSH into the devices. This is something really, really important because most of the time they will save you. If, for example, you need to set the inform IP again on the device, let's say that the controller that you are self-hosting, you didn't set a static IP on the controller, and out of nowhere, after you update or you install the upgrade in the network controller, it reboots and the controller has a new IP. If the devices cannot reach the controller with DNS, they won't be able to find the IP address that they also had before. So you will need to get into the UniFi device maybe and set the inform IP again. So be very mindful of this. And if you have SSH enabled, this is something that you can do. Okay, you can see also this. Now, something also really, really important. Maybe you have a version, the version that you are updating in the controller is not compatible with the firmware that your devices have. So that's another important thing that you need to check before doing any update or upgrade. Be mindful of this. We have other things that can happen. DNS, it's always DNS, right? And then issues with firewall and port changes. Some advices here that we can give you. Well, yeah, the old, the classic, do a reboot everything. Of course, we will have disruption with this. But if nothing is working, well, that's what you will need to do. Again, the inform URL, this is what we discussed. DHCP, DNS settings. Then you can also do firmware updates manually. We'll do some videos about this. So if you need to, you can do updates or firmware updates. Okay, that's it for this part. Let's go a little bit. Well, we have some more advice over here of what you can do to avoid disruption when you're doing updates. Yes, take backups. This is really, really important. Taking backups before you do any kind of update is something really, really important. We have videos on how to do backups and also restore. All right, now let's talk about how we manage the software updates or controller updates at UniHosted. And we have a process for this, pretty similar to what I mentioned before. Now you have the entire document of this process at the UniHosted website. I'll just go through quickly over the process so I can explain it to you. Now, like I mentioned before, UniFi has several channels or 3 channels: early, release, or the official channel. Now, we test with the release candidates channel with those versions internally. Then once the version is in the stable channel or it's a official, we deploy it to the free tier, to the controls that are in the free tier. Now there comes the monitoring part that we see, we monitor, we check, we test if everything goes well in the free tier and also the internal servers. Now, if everything goes smooth over there, then we plan for the update or upgrade in our paid customers. And the most important thing is that we communicate you, if you are a UniHosted user, we communicate that we're going to do the update or upgrade, and you can let us know if you would like to stay on the version that you are right now. So something really, really important. Maybe you don't want to switch the version for any reason. You saw something in the community forums and you don't want to have any problems. So something really important to mention is, even if we wait, test and everything, and you want to stay in a previous version, sometimes, like I mentioned before, the updates and upgrade, they come with security improvements. And if it's something related to security or the big update is most related to security, we really recommend to install the updates. All right, that's about it. Just wanted to explain you quickly how we manage the UniFi updates at UniHosted. One more thing that I wanted to show you, as promised, is if you do want to do some testing with the early versions or with the early channel, how you can activate that for you. Now, really, really important that before you activate this feature over here is to go to your Ubiquiti account, the same one that you use for your site manager. And you need to go to your profile, and you will find in the profile, you will find an option over there that says early access. Okay, this is where you will click over here. I'm already enrolled, so the option is not showing over there, but probably you will see the option there to enroll. Once you enroll here, you go back to your controller. If you already had this option enabled and you still don't see these options over here, what I advise you to do is to disable the option. sign out of your controller, and then get back into the controller again to enable the option again. So this issue for some people that maybe they activate this and then they enroll in the YubiKey profile part, but this doesn't appear. And it's because you need to be first enrolled into the YubiKey profile part and then activate this on the controller or network application. Now with this, then you can just switch and get the newer versions if you want to. Okay, that's it for this. All right, folks, that's it for today. If you have any questions, comments, or any requests for upcoming videos, just drop them in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed the video. My name is Fernando. Don't forget to turn on the notifications, hit the like, subscribe buttons, and I'll see you in the next UniHosted video. Goodbye.